Hello, my name is Gabriel from Gabat USA. In this video, I'll teach you how to adapt like this kind of connectors is a SATA power connector in your power supply. If you have this problem that you maybe use this kind of adapter, you think, well, it might be okay, it might solve the problem or not. Sometimes this kind of solution is not good. Let's say that you have a bad power supply, like you can see here, you have all the cables and everything, and you think, well, maybe I have a SATA connector here that I could use in my other power supply, where here I'll teach you how to do this kind of thing. The bad part about this is, if you don't know, it has just the yellow cable has 12 volts and the red one is 5, and you're missing here the orange cable that has 3.3 volts. So most of the products that you see on the market works well with these just two voltages that you see here, but maybe in the future, or maybe you get another device that it needs 3.3 volts. So if that is the case, it will be better to adapt one of these cables from another power supply, or just you can buy it and build it yourself. So in this case, I'll teach you how to do that. We are going to take apart the power supply and you can do the job. So that will be easy. You need just a soldering station and a little of tin, so that way you can solder and do all those things. What you are going to find, I mean, if you want to just forward the video and see the practice, you can do that. Otherwise, I'll teach you some of the practice, some of the theory, and you will be aware of that when you are going to work with this. So remember, you will have the power supply. In this case, it has a fan here and it has another one here, and the card is on top of two little, or usually it's 4 support, but you will see just in this case 2 support, but it has 4. So you will have to remove these 4 screws. Once you have done that, maybe you have to unplug one of the fans that you're going to see in this case, but depending on the design of the power supply. Once you have done that, you're going to see the logic board, and it will have a lot of components here, and you will have like a bunch of cables that goes to the motherboard, to the PC, and everywhere. So once you see here this, you will try to find, you have to try to find these little holes where you have the voltage, because you will have it something like that. I'll make it something, I'll divide it by 4 so you will see better just this small part. You will have like 12 volt here, 5, and then 3.3. Then what you have to search is for the little holes here and here and here, and you have the ground. So once you have the holes in the ground too, you can solder it too, and that way you can connect this kind of cable. So it will be interesting if you don't have money maybe to buy a brand new power supply and you have many of those old power supply laying around, it might be useful for you. So those things, that is the thing that you have to have in mind. Another thing is, when you're soldering, remember that if it is the cable that you're soldering is a little bit long, or just maybe the leg or something like that, it doesn't have to touch the metal part. If it does, it will produce some short circuit, so try to avoid that. And if you have like a little plier or scissor, whatever you want to use, try to cut it. Or if you think that everything is okay, but just in case you want to make sure that nothing will happen, like it will not be short circuit or anything like that, what you can do underneath, you can try to put like electric tape or something like that, just in case the contactors of the soldering will not be touching the metal. So that is a good thing to do in these cases. Also remember, if you add more cables, you have to make sure that you're not going to use something that consumes more than the power can deliver. Otherwise, you will burn out the power supply. So that is a good thing. I mean, this is just to connect maybe small stuff. In this case, I have a small computer that I need just to install one SSD drive or solid state drive. So that case, you can, have one more drive to put up the computer with, so it would be faster than the mechanical drives. But if you want to put a lot of more stuff or use this kind of things to connect more stuff, the problem that you will encounter is that the computer will not turn on because you have too much things connected. In that case, it's better to connect a new power supply. But remember that if you use this, I mean, the bad thing about this, besides that it doesn't have the 3.3 volt, is that most of the time it produces like a false contact or loose contact, and then sometimes the DVD-ROM will work or not, or maybe sometimes the drive will be detected or not. Most of the time is because of these kind of connectors that are not good. So try to keep that in mind. If you can do that, that would be great. Otherwise, buy a new power supply. So let's jump in the practice so you can see the video and you can do it yourself. I hope you like it. Remember to share it, to subscribe, follow me in Periscope and Meerkat if you want to see all the videos that I will be making every week. Okay, now what we are going to do is this. We have this SATA cable, and we are going to try to solder these cables here. As you can see here, we have just one dot that we may be able to connect the black one, and we have to find if we have another hole to put the rest one. So in order to do that, it would be convenient to remove the whole cables, all the cables that we see here, or we can just join them in this area. It would be easy if you don't want to remove the part. So in this case, we're going to use a screwdriver and we're going to remove all the board. Okay, here we have to unplug this, and then we're going to be able to remove the whole logic board, as you can see. Now we can see it a little bit better. And we have one little hole over there. And we have another one. We have one here. I'll make a zoom in. So as you can see, there is just a little hole over there for the orange, another one for the black one. We need for the yellow one and the red one. We're going to need a little bit. There's a little of dust here. Okay, we are going to try to use one of those holes to put the cables that we can, and those one that we cannot, we are going to solder them here. Okay, now what we are going to do is just to put some tin on the cables so it will be easy to pass them through the hole. Okay, here we have the wires, so we're going to use the tin. Okay, we finish here. Now you can see the ends are hard, so that way, in this case, this one we have to put some thing. All right. Once we have this, we're going to proceed. I'm going to try to put it here. Okay, now we have the cable here. We're going to use the soldering. Okay, as you can see, it passed through all the way. Now we have to blow a little bit. Now we can pull and you will see it sticks in the same place. And we are going to try to do the same thing with the other ones. Okay, we have just a little hole. I'll show you here, as you can see. As you can see, we have the hole here, so we're going to pass it all through. We are going to solder it here. We're going to bend it a little bit. All right. Now we can pull. You can see it's very well done. Now we are going to try to see if there is more holes for the rest of the cables. Okay, as you can see here, we have a little hole that is blocked from the other side, but we can clean it up a little bit and try to put the other black cable in that hole. Okay, now we're going to put the black cable just in the hole. I'll keep pushing and I'll put some heat in the other side so we can do the soldering. Okay, now we can see the cable is here in that point. Okay, now we are going to try to find more holes to put the other cables and see how everything turns out. Maybe you can see or not, but I see the hole just in that part. As you can see over there, there's a hole. So we are going to put the red cable over there. We are going to do the same thing. So we are almost there. You can see the little hole over there. Okay, we can see this just here. So we're going to bend it a little bit, and we're going to do the same thing as the others. Alright, we finished that. There is one more cable to find, and let's see if we can find the hole for the yellow ones. Okay, in this case we don't have more holes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here, and we're going to solder this cable to the rest, so that way we can make it work. Alright, now we're going to use this little screwdriver that comes with the Victorinox. We're going to pass through this cable, make a zoom in. So you put the screwdriver like that, from one side to the other one, and once you have it like that, you can pass through the cable and do like a little nut here, and then we can use the soldering station to solder that union or joint. Okay, we finish this, and then we have to put it the way it was before. Now we're going to try to find some electrical tape so we can isolate this union. Okay, just I put some electric tape, so it's easy to do. Now that we have done this, we can put it the way it was, and we can build the computer and put all the pieces as it was before. Now that we just took this power supply apart, we're going to remove the fan, and we can put some oil inside. Right, we have this piece of rubber is to cover that. So we are going to use this oil. Try to use some oil that has Teflon lubricant. That is very important. Just a little bit is more than enough to make it work. Try to move it like that, up and down, just in case, so the lubricant will go everywhere. And then we can put back the cover, and we're going to use a little piece of tape. There you go. You can see, because if we use this one, it might unglue soon, and it will be a bad thing. So now that everything fits, we're going to use the screwdriver. Now we can use this cover so it will not damage any cables, and we can put all the cables here. Let's hope it fits. Okay, great. So everything fits. We have the new cable here. We're going to try to close with the cover. Remember to connect the fan that we have just for this part. We're done. So we can check that we have all the voltage are right before closing your app. Let's try to use a multimeter for that. Okay, now we are going to turn on the power supply, and we are going to use the tester, a multimeter, and we are going to put the ends here. As you see here, yellow is 12 or 11 something. Then we leave it there, and then we are going to put it in the other side. The red one should be 5, okay, 5.1. And we do the same with the orange, is 3.3, and everything looks fine and good, and everything should be good to go in the computer. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this class. Remember to leave me your comment down below so I can see. If you want another class about any other thing, just let me know. That would be great. Remember to subscribe to my Facebook and the fan page and my Twitter account. Also, you can follow me on Meerkat and Periscope. And hope to see you in the next video.